Hi everybody, I'm Dave Cryer. I'm the Learning and Engagement Coordinator at Keswick Museum, and we are really overjoyed with the exhibition that we've got in from St Herbert's School that's taken us a long time in coming. And I'm here at the entrance. In fact, this is not the first piece that you see when you come in to the museum, because you may already have seen the merman that's in the window. But this is creating, not just from the children that were involved and the teachers that were involved in making this, but it's creating a wow factor at our entrance with ordinary customers that have come in to what they're expecting to be an ordinary town museum. There's nothing ordinary about our museum, but they come in and they go, wow, look at that. And that's their first impression of coming into our museum. So we're really pleased about that impact that we're having. So the next thing that happens with our customers is that they follow the one-way system in the museum. And they'll see the back of the merman as they're passing by. And they follow our one-way system around the museum with our fantastic footprint marks so that they can keep COVID safe as they're walking around. There's lots to see on their journey, but and they'll be spending time in the landscape zone here. But then, when they get into our mountain heritage zone, they find the Tree of Hope, which is a fantastic part of the St Herbert's display. Look at how many different messages are on the tree at the moment. Now, some of these messages have really strong COVID-related hopes and wishes to do with family, to do with the virus passing, but there are also some very ordinary hopes on here, because it should be a time where we are allowed to have ordinary hopes as well. And so, for instance, my favourite that I found so far, and there's many more on here than the last time I looked, but one of my favourite ones is just a small hope on the tree which says, I hope that One Direction get back together. I mean, what a lovely, ordinary thought to have at a time when we're all encompassed by all of these other hopes and wishes for all of our futures. Coming out of the Mountain Heritage Zone, you head through into our sort of historical zone about how the history of the area was shaped. And so we've got a lovely, that's my favourite painting there, of the Keswick Main Street with loads of characters with their stories in. And then as you're heading round through the Neolithic story, the next set of St Herbert's that you see is this fabulous window display. Now, these areas of our museum were previously empty because we had interactive stuff there that it was COVID unsafe to keep it out. So this was part of the reason why we expanded the exhibition for St Herbert's to include then filling up our bay window areas. And this boat here represents some of the bad things that we've all had to deal with, the graffiti inside and outside, dealing with the bad stuff that we've had to deal with, but then our fantastically positive hopes for the future. And there are some lovely touches in this particular area of the display with various pieces of painted geology. So that's causing a lot of reaction and creates some lovely light coming through with the different colours as well. These are another favourite part of mine. I love the fish that we've got. And then with this idea of playful museums, part of what families can do next is play our musical stones. And just as we're heading towards Christmas time and heading into the new lockdown, I'll let you know that you can, if you want to, you can adopt an object at the museum. It's one of our own fundraising projects that's seeing us through the lockdown and towards Christmas. You can actually adopt the musical stones if you wish. So the next thing that happens as part of the tour is that some children and adults, in fact, one of the most excited people who did this was an adult. We've actually got our Where's Wally trail. I'll show you, if you're going to come and do the Where's Wally trail, I'll just show you a little sneak preview that there might be a Wally to find somewhere in the shop now. But what happens is that in the Playful Museums idea, children might be interacting with Wally figures as the parents perhaps have been interacting with the musical stones, so that it becomes playful for all the family, not just for the children. And next, on the St Herbert's tour, we will be going into Gallery 2. And so, we head this way. So, straight into Gallery 2, again following the one-way system. Things to interact with, like our touch screen, to find out more information about Robert Southey there, just disappearing out of shot. And through our art zone, and as you're heading through the art zone, again you might have a little playful moment with our interactive art curator zone. Again, adults and children love to do this. And then next to the art zone, look at this for a fabulous piece of artwork. This is the steampunk fish, and reminds me in particular of the 2012 Olympics with all of the steampunk theme that went into the ceremonies for the Olympics. But look at the artwork on these. They're amazing. Just if you look at one fish, you'll see how much time and effort has gone into making a steampunk fish. And so this again was an area that was an interactive reading area for young families to sit and read with your child, and we've had to remove those books. But look how interactive it is now. Without having to touch anything, you similarly get inspired by the stories that go with each of these fish that are on display. And even the head teacher of St Herbert's School was involved. Her artwork is in all of these window drops that come down. So right from the youngest child in school to the head teacher, every single person in St Herbert's School has been involved in this exhibition. That's 295 children, all of the staff, many parents and volunteers, as well as various artists that were involved in the course of the project. So as you're touring the museum, you'll move into the Keswick School of Industrial Arts zone, but as you're coming through, you also see that there's another part of the St Herbert's exhibition here, with the River Greeter running through town. This was town under lockdown, and what you can see, and what you'll recognise, are various buildings from the town itself. So we've got the museum here, we've got the Moot Hall, we've got St John's Church, and various other buildings from town. One thing that we love about this particular display is that originally it didn't have any origami boats on it, because the origami boats have been made in a different part of the exhibition. Again, it's a St Herbert's idea, it's a playful idea, and one child one day extended that playfulness by not wanting to take his origami boat home. He came and put it on the river, and we thought that was fantastic, so we left it there, and look at what's happened. We didn't do this as a museum staff. Other people, children and adults, have made origami boats, and they have put them onto the River Greeter. So we think that's fantastic. And again, this row of houses, that wasn't like that last time I looked at it. So somebody has rearranged the houses, which again is a lovely, playful thing to do, and we encourage it. It's fantastic. Now, this particular area, the Waterfall of Words, I have a particular interest in myself, because I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I have worked freelance in schools encouraging creative writing, and so I went into St Herbert's to work with 3 different classes in Year 3-4 on this particular area, which is the Waterfall of Words, and each of these Drops of Water has a haiku in it that was started with me, perhaps even finished with me, in a 1-hour session in school, and then perfected and honed, and then presented as a piece of writing on a drop of water on our Waterfall of Words. This was inspired by Robert Southey, who is the main feature of our literature zone at the moment, and Robert Southey wrote a poem called The Cataract of Lodore, which is about the old-fashioned word for a waterfall, the cataract, about one of our local waterfalls down the Borrowdale Valley. And so it's really nice that the children have brought back to life that particular poem in haiku form for our Waterfall of Words. So in this zone, which is our temporary exhibition zone, which at the moment has an exhibition about Canon Rawnsley, an important man locally, and his family, his wife, and the Keswick School of Industrial Arts, and all of his sort of values and hopes that he had for the local community are in this area. And in fact, St Herbert's School has a set of 15 mission statements, small mission statements, which are about hope and other creative endeavours. And Canon Rawnsley fits in very well to that mission statement. In this area is where you get to make your origami boat. And so you can sit at this table and you can choose a piece of paper, you can follow some instructions on a printed sheet, or you can use one of the QR codes that St Herbert's developed, and you can follow a video online to help you make your boat. And then for us, that's an easy interaction because the boat then gets taken away, or as you've seen earlier, it gets placed upon the River Greta. And just when you think the exhibition might be over, because our one-way system will take you down the stairs, you will see that a spectacular part of the St Herbert's exhibition is still yet to see. So just as you're about to go down the stairs, your attention might be caught by these beautiful dioramas that were made by some of the children with the help of Alex, the artist. And as you go down the stairs, you get surprised by other pieces of artwork that are all in various places. Like on the back of the book cabinet there, you've got silhouettes inspired by Kensuke's Kingdom. You've got more boats to fit in with the theme of the storm and the sailing across the stormy sea. And as you're coming down the stairs, a whole row of dioramas to guide you into the next part of the exhibition. You reach the bottom of the stairs and your attention again is grabbed by this cabinet, which contains beautiful boats and flying fish. This cabinet area we've recently been using on its own as an area called My Museum, and we had a lovely exhibition before the St Herbert's exhibition from one of our volunteers, Andrew Sotheby, who created his own miniature museum here, which is based on items from his own life, which he collected over the years and used to show his grandchildren, who are all now grown up, and we had that on display here as well. So this is an area that any person or group of people from a school or adults or someone with a special interest can get in touch with me at the museum and ask to have a spot of time in the My Museum area. And next, you come into what we call our community gallery, which again is another space which any organisation can approach me and say, we would like to do a display in your community gallery area. And this in fact was the first area that we discussed with St Herbert's about them filling this particular space. And as you can see, we've expanded all around the museum. This is probably many people's favourite part of the exhibition, created again with Alex, the artist that was in school many times to help out with the project. And what you can see in this particular piece of the display is the lovely iconic rainbow that everybody is familiar with through the COVID experience. The children in the boat looking to the future, and again some steampunk fish and some flying birds. There was a bit of a strong wind the other day and we haven't managed to untangle some of the birds as they were flying around, but lovely display there. And then you get some stop frame animation which just plays on a simple touch. If you think about the hours of work that have gone into what you've seen already, just think about the hours of work and the artistic skill that's gone into making that one small piece of the exhibition. That's an exhibition in itself. And then you see in the background a piece of artwork that some of you may be familiar with. Lots of different interpretations of what the Great Wave may look like to the children that have been involved in the project. You come round into another part of the community gallery area and you see some more boats and lovely ceramic turtles and more turtles in this display over here. Every single one of those pieces of artwork has taken love and care and time. And look at how many we've got. And then the next thing that we get is this lovely rainbow made from Origami Boats. And it was Kath's class that produced that one. Worked with Kath many, many times. In fact, St Herbert's as a school we've worked with many times. And we've got some, this time, some steampunk fish, but drawn in pencil this time. And more artwork there, and our lovely exhibition visitors book, which has some fantastic information in it. People's reactions to the whole exhibition, and we've got even a retired head teacher, an Ofsted inspector, who's written in here to say how fantastic the exhibition is. And right next to it we've got a Year 7 boy making a comment and a Year 3 boy making a comment about what a fantastic piece of artwork it is. And look at this, someone's spent time in the visitors book creating their own piece of artwork with a dancing figure saying, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain. How wonderful is that? What a lovely thought to leave people with. And thank you to Vivian Green for doing that particular piece of artwork in the visitors book about an exhibition of artwork. And the exhibition at Keswick Museum is capturing everyone's imaginations, from visitors to all of the children and families that are coming in, to our trustees that have come to take a look at what we're doing, and all of the staff as well. It just so happens that Nicola was passing by as we were filming. So what do you think, Nicola? Oh,
I think it's absolutely amazing. The kids have done such a fantastic job of bringing to life their experiences, and I think that my favourite bit are the steampunk fish.
And there you go, that's it. Or rather, you think that's it, because if you follow the exit out of the back into the park, you'll see another part of the exhibition, which is facing outwards into Fitz Park towards the play area. So have a look for that next time you're in Fitz Park. We'll show you. This is what you see from Fitz Park. You see a lovely window display, again with my favourites, the fish, and when it gets dark, or if it's dark at the first thing in the morning, or when it gets towards dusk in the evening, the lights actually in the display and behind the display bring all of this to life, and it attracts people into our museum. So what a fantastic exhibition from start to finish, produced by St Herbert's School. And from the museum, we'd just like to say thank you. It's been a magnificent project, and it's not over yet. When we reopen in December, we're continuing the exhibition for another 6 weeks, and we will be adding to it. So thank you very much.